Hey, Rob.
Una mañana, otra, ey, pero no hay boda. Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias. Muchas novias. Hoy tengo a una, mañana otra. Me las voy a llevar a todas con VIP, ey. Saluden a mi tío, díganos selfie. Selfies, ey. Que todavía las piernas me tía. VIP, ey. Saluden a mi tío, díganos selfie. Selfies, que todavía las
Wait. So, hi, Rob. Is it Romulan? Is it? Hello. Hello, hello. You guys hear me out there in the
Yes,
world?
sir.
Okay, cool. Not sure if you want to be raising your hand right now, Romulan, Grace, or not, but hi, I'm David. I think we'll just get this party started as we're just trickling in here. It's already 5 minutes after, so let's get going, huh? It's Friday. Let's go. Clap it up for Friday. Let's bring the energy today. Let's go. Let's go. Let's bring it up just a little bit here. How we doing out there in the world, guys? How we doing? It's pretty hot. I know that where I'm at, it's 110 degrees and it smells like the world is on fire out there, man. I don't know if anybody else is in the Inland Empire, but geez, it is like crazy out here right now. So let me get my screen up and then we'll kind of jump into today's training. You guys already know what we get into right off the bat. We'll jump into what I have prepared for us, but you already know what we'll start off with. Oop, let me get over here. This is the wrong one. There we go. All right. Cool. We'll trickle in here and get it started. Go on in here. Cool. Let's start off with some wins. Everybody on this call, hop on. Let us know what you guys have been up to. What are some leads, sets, appointments, sales, recruits, anything sat, any installs this week? Who wants to go first?
Just to recap a little bit, right? For those here, I had to close. I start my week off on Sundays, right? From Sunday to Sunday. Closed on Sunday. Then we had I had a sit the other night. I had to reschedule the other night, but I did have a sit the other night. It was a credit fail, so they got declined. But it happens. We got it to where we needed to get. Luckily, I'm a builder, so I'm going to be able to help them, right? Use my credit software and get their credit right. So
Let's go, bro. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's one of those things. I think, some people have different opinions on this, but I think it's great to know, like, hey, we all go through the same struggles, right? Credit issues exist. They're real. I went through a credit decline recently as well, right? It's just in the game, right? And I think sometimes it's easy to get caught up in the idea of like, oh, whatever. I guess David doesn't get as many credit declines, or maybe Johnny just so lucky he never gets the ones that decline. Like we all do, we all go through the same thing. We all have appointments that don't hold. We all have appointments that sell and then that cancel the next day. We all have people, that are ready to go and they're super excited and then they can't get approved. Like that's the name of the game that we're in. So I'm somebody that's not going to sugarcoat it. And I'm glad that Johnny, you wear your heart in your sleeve as well. So, again, like you always say, the homeowner said yes, the credit bureau said no. So just stay on top of it. Yeah.
Bro, it's funny because it was like you said, it was sometimes when it's too easy, it's like, oh man, you're either gonna have a bad roof. I gotta double check that make sure that you're the homeowner, or you're gonna have bad credit, right? When it's a little too easy, it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
It was literally like 25 minutes. Hey, they already had solar.
Yeah.
They had a $2,000 true up. So I just talked to them on the phone first. Hey, look, probably gonna be a little bit higher, but we can offset your bills. That's fine. They had limited roof space. So I just didn't sugarcoat it, got in the call. I said, look, man, I got you something good. The only problem is we don't know if we're going to be able to do it because of the roof space that you have right now. You're very, very limited. So the only thing that we can do, this is where you're at right now. This is where we can get you. How do you like that? We like it. Cool. Next step is we got to see if we can even do this project. How do you do that? Fill this out. It was like 20-minute sit. It wasn't even, it was quick. It was one of those and yeah, down, but we keep it pushing and hopefully we can help them.
Yeah, man. It's one of those things. It's so funny. Like you say, like you can always tell the ones that have less than stellar credit because they're like the ones that really need it and they're the ones that really want it. So, but anyways, well done. going through the process. Let's just stay on top of it, bro. No doesn't mean no, it just means not right now. So, all right, who's next?
I'll jump in. Yeah, we had a similar one, David and I, credit decline. Very unique situation. But we also got a installation this week, and then we have another one next week, David and I. I got a bill from a friend of mine working on his design. I'm getting ready to present. We had a few meetings with potential builders. One of them just this morning. This guy is super sharp. He does business lending. He does credit repair. I believe, he's super, super sharp. So I'm very excited. I helped my builder, do the business presentation for a potential partner of hers. And he's a realtor. He already has a few people that he's going to refer to us. So I'm very excited about that. I'm trying to help her grow as quickly as possible. So yeah, I mean, this whole week has been just full of wins for me, fortunately. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, bro, let's go. Let's go, man. Funny enough, Roberto and I had a homeowner that we went to go run credit for. And this is a funny story. We show up and then we run her credit and she doesn't get approved, right? And then suddenly, an hour into Roberto being there trying to figure out what's going on with her credit, she's like, "Oh yeah, I have a credit freeze on all of my credit, like all 3 bureaus." I'm like, "You had us come over to run your credit and you didn't remove your credit freeze?" It's like, so anyways, so we're working on that. But either way, clap it up for our boy Roberto. Let's get those closed up, man. You're always making moves. I'm always trying to keep up with you, man, even with that sling that you're rocking these days. All right, who's next?
I'll go.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I'm from Bay Area, and I just had a deal. I was living in the East Coast for like 3 months. I closed 2 deals. I'm working on my third. I'm trying to get on the Freedom Forever too, because it's like the minimum is 3, I think, to have an access to the portal.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm working.
Oh, good for you, bro. Good for you. So, when
Started.
when did you get those sales?
Yeah. So I had been working on it for past month, and we finally closed 2 deals and signed the contract, everything. Now we're just waiting on an installation date.
My boy. Okay, great. Everybody come off mute. You guys know what we do around here for people that get our sales.
Come here. Right here.
Oh, easy now, coffee. Hey,
Oh,
okay.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I was not on mute. Oh my God.
That's not exactly
y'all.
what we do. But while you're off mute, let's go ahead and give our boy. So what was your name? I'm sorry, bro. How do you say your name?
My name Rhythm.
Rhythm. What's up,
All
Rhythm?
right, Rhythm.
Welcome
thank
to
you,
the
man.
party. Let's welcome Rhythm with 2 loud you knows on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
You know. You know.
My boy coming in here is he's saying put some respect on my name because your boy's hot. Rhythm is his name. Everyone remember that. You're gonna see him on the leaderboard. So well done. Sabrina, hey, how are you? Are you raising your hand?
Yes, I am. Yes, I
Yeah.
am. This week has just been phenomenal for me and my husband. He's been rocking it out with door-to-door networking events. He actually went to a networking event last night. He has an appointment at 3 o'clock today where this guy is a real estate recruiter. And so he's like, "You got to come to my office today, guy. You got to come to my office and tell me all about your company, what you're doing, how we can make more money." So that's a big, huge win for us. And then he posted on Facebook back at the beginning of the week about, if you want to make more money, 6 figures, part-time, anytime. He's been getting tons of calls from his friends. He has a friend that's signing up today as a builder. The guy that he's signing up already wants to enroll someone. So we're going to end up having 2 builders from that. My son actually signed up as an affiliate. He's looking at the video from Mr. Bean from the other day. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm in." So I'm signing up one of my sons at least today. We have a homeowner who's like, I'm in New York, but I have a rental property in Texas. I want to get them solar, and my daughter wants solar in Connecticut. So we are just so elated that the system works.
Let's go. The system works if you work it. That's for
That's
sure.
it.
100%. And I know you, the fireball over there. I know you're always up to something. I know Sabrina's always up to something. How about we just give her a bunch of claps, everyone to come off mic and just clap it up for our girl Sabrina making money moves. Let's go, baby. Let's keep
Thank
it
you.
going.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yes, you are the type of person that inspires me when I wake up in the
Go,
morning.
go.
Who's next? Who's next? We got time for one more. And if not, we'll keep this party moving. Anybody else? What else are we celebrating, guys? What do we got? Hit me with it.
All right, I'll go.
Okay,
Let me
okay.
multitask here.
Oh my boy.
So ever since we got back from Cali, I've been busy just reaching out to people that are quote unquote recruiting up. So I got a new builder just the other day. He's already has 3 builders that are gonna come, and within the next 30 days, we should have a team of nothing but builders of around 60 individuals. That's on the recruiting side. On the solar side, I have 2 presentations that are looking promising, and I'm already getting quite a few interested individuals for the new Ripple coming up in January. So just been focusing on the subs. That way, we can grow from there.
My boy selling that Ripple, and it's not even hit the market yet. Let's go, Rafael. Dude, I love the way that you roll. You're always willing to take on new things. Good stuff, man. Yeah, let's get those closed up and gain some traction. It's all, I don't know about you, but I've been feeling like, and maybe this is just my own thing. I don't want to put this on to anybody, but I've been feeling like personally, I've been working, and it's time to hit pay dirt. It's time for the training to really take shape. It's time for the planning and the building and everything. Like, let's go make some money this weekend. Yeah, let's go close some solar deals. Who's with me? Who's with me, man? Let's close some deals. Like, let's actually go and close them. Like we talk about it and everything like that. It's time for action this weekend. Yeah, it's time for action. Copy Brown, what's up?
What's going on? So I've been doing a lot of digital networking to offset the difference with my career pathing. So I've been doing some digital stuff and literally gained some crazy traction. I got my first water appointment aligned and set up. So definitely looking forward to that. Got another builder on board. Actually brought on 8 affiliates this week that we're working with their list because they're actually bringing us names and numbers and contacts to be able to connect with. So I tell them, hey, if you're coming on board with me, I need a list of names and numbers that we can contact so that we can get them in front of the products and services that we offer. I don't need you to just be in my system. If you don't want to build with us, it's fine. But definitely bring us some leads so that way we can do what we got to do to give you that $500 to $1,000 per install. So let's get it popping. And so I had a girl yesterday, she literally has given me a great list of leads. So we're working on that, but super excited about this water connection to be able to have that. And then we actually are getting some leads dumped in from our team member whose family is ready to go solar. So we're working with them to get those handled and just building from there. So I definitely excited about the builder we had to come on. And then we have a couple other builders that are in the pipeline that are scheduled to come on. So it's super exciting. Everything is exciting. Like you said, we're getting to the bag, getting out of the BS and getting to the bag. So super excited about that. But these networking events have been crazy valuable because these people, for the first time, I feel like it's not just somebody who says, oh yeah, let's meet over coffee. They want to talk business. So that's what I'm excited about. So are we in Utah?
Wait, what?
Are we in Utah?
Yeah.
Okay, I just got a huge connection from Utah. I just wanted to make sure we were there before I start saying anything else about it.
Yeah, we are.
I'll talk to you about it, David.
Let's go. Hit me
All
with
right.
it. I'm here for it. Let's go. And P Coffee Brown hit her with the, you know what? I don't need you on my team. She hit him with the takeaway. Did you see that? It's like, I don't need you on my team if you're not bringing me any leads. Get out.
Yeah, I need you to get paid. What's the purpose of you being here if you don't get paid? It's time to get to the paper. I'm not about. I don't like placeholders. I
Yeah,
literally wrote a book about that. So I don't do placeholders. If you're gonna be in position, you don't have to. You don't have to build if you don't want to, but don't get in position if you don't want to get paid. That's my philosophy.
look, she's doing this,
Facts.
the 6 steps, and she's like right here. She's like, hey, look, it's a great opportunity. It help you solve. There's a problem. People need a job. I have a job to be able to solve it. But guess what? Don't come onto my team if you're not bringing it. If you're not bringing value, right? Even in this pitch, she's in steps 1 through 6. You guys see that? Right? Real time, real time. That's right. We're bringing the real time training. Okay, cool. I think that's it. That's all we have time for. We're gonna keep this party moving because I got a lot to talk about. And Coffee, keep doing your thing, man. I know you're always building and up to major things. All right, Mentor Factory. We're gonna keep talking about it. Any other announcements that people want to make here today? I mean, there's not a lot other than it's the end of summer. You know, get on your horse because we only have another hour or another month left in the year where you know, it's not getting dark till 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, right? And that's not going to last very long. So I'm talking about like live and like live your life with urgency right now. Any other announcements anyone wants to make real quick?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Renardo and Mark. I see them out there at their first Freedom install since Mark kept this up on me. So shout out to my boy Mark and Renardo.
Shout out to them. Shout out to Roberto on the case, getting some content at our install. Any other installs go out this week? It's a good week. I feel like things are starting to pick up again. I don't know if I'm the only one, but like I just didn't have either. It was a weird timing or whatever. But like for the last 3 weeks, I haven't had any glass go on the roof, and that's like really rare for me. So it's good to see it start to happen. I don't know if it was a scheduling thing or what, but you know, I have a couple of jobs that are almost ready for install next week, and they're self-generated jobs. So I'm like, let's go. You know, your boy needs that. So anyway, okay, cool. Enough about me. Let's keep this moving. So motivation, we can take a couple minutes here. Yeah, we can take a couple minutes here.
Can I ask a quick question?
With HoneyBook, you
Yeah,
make
who
sure
is
you
it?
Sorry. This is my
Oh,
very
hi,
first.
Shannon. Hey.
Hi. I'm from Chicago.
Hi.
This is my very first Zoom with Encore. I
Oh.
joined a few weeks ago. Is this call? It's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Is this for anyone, or is this for your specific team, or is it's for anyone? Right.
It's for anyone. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Just want to make sure. Okay.
hey, you're more than welcome. Everybody can come off mute and welcome Shannon. Hi, Shannon. Hey, Shannon.
What's up, Shannon?
Hi, Shannon.
Hey guys.
Hi,
Hi. Thank
Shannon.
you.
Hey.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is a door-to-door call. My name is David Ramos. It's a pleasure to have you. Pleasure to serve you today. So basically what this call is all about is about generating business and generating leads, right? So this is our, you know, we have a direct sales program, right? Direct sales team. And I, along with my partners, Johnny, Lewis, and Johnny Montes, Lewis, and David as well, that is also on this call, should be on this call. We run these every Tuesdays through Fridays at 12 o'clock noon, okay? So you're more than welcome to come here. This is an open forum for you, for anybody on the team. Basically, we work on how do we either cold call, knock doors, right? This is a door knocking training. So we focus on how do we knock doors? How do you have conversations with friends and family? How do you just generate the lead, right? Like, how are you going to generate that? How are you going to put yourself in a position to win? So we always start off with some wins. We go into some training content, and then we set some goals for the day. So welcome to the call. I'm glad you can make it. But we're
Thank
just
you.
about to get some motivation stuff. So, you know, stay tuned to this part. I like to get people just kind of their mind right before we get ready for the day, right? So we can remember it's not just, you know, the things that we're doing, but why we're doing them, right? And the bigger picture. So I like to show a little video here and there just to make sure that like we can get ready for the weekend and we can get our minds in the right place. So
It's easier to take out a pen and a piece of paper and write things down. And so people will substitute that action for the action that will actually change them and make them better and move them closer to that version of who they know they can become. So let's just be careful. Just be careful. Be careful of getting caught in that planning phase of who you can become. Be careful of that planning phase, because the planning phase should be about 3 seconds long. And there's time to go get after it.
Make your move before you're ready.
I'll tell you where big dreams go to die. They go to the planning place, preparing myself. And it's the biggest con job we work on ourselves. There are so many bones of big dreams in the graveyard where people, there's always going to be a set of reasons to wait.
When you want to achieve the highest goal of all time, you are going to have to learn how to get your ass kicked all the way up that damn mountain. If I want to be way up here, it's going to take a bunch of small micro failures along the way. But you have to understand that that is part of the process.
The reality is when you do things that are easy in life, you don't value them as much. When you do things that are difficult and that require you to dig really deep, then you value them more. It's easy to quit. It's easier to try something that's already been done before. It's harder when you don't know what the end result will be. It's harder when you face the uphill challenge and you deal with it and you face it head on. It's where you build confidence in yourself. That's where you build your own self-esteem. You know, things are given to you. You never have a sense of how difficult it is to actually earn it.
Regret hurts more than discipline. Because when you're disciplined and you act on the things that you're supposed to do, you won't ever have to look back and say, dang, woulda, coulda, shoulda. So do it now so you don't have to do it later.
The most powerful voice you'll ever hear is the one inside your own head, because that voice is often fueled by fear and insecurity. Your mind can remind you of the past. It can criticize you and make you question your self-worth, but you can change that. Don't be afraid to question the stories you create in your head. Focus on what you want, and you'll start to see opportunities where obstacles once were.
You get up in the morning, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna win today. Well, just by saying it, you're gonna win today. You ain't gonna win today. It's a jungle out there. See, most of us, we come out to compete every single day. The jungle comes to win, because the jungle is always prepared.
Go there. Let's go up to there. Take a couple of shares of what came up for people just now. And then you guys can hear from me what came up for me. But what are some thoughts? What are some takeaways as you guys are watching it?
Hey, David. Great, bro. I mean, it's supposed to be hard. You know, if I may, I just got surgery last week, right? I'm in pain. For the past couple of days, I have been in pain every single day. But I'm getting out there. I'm talking to people. I'm bringing people into the business, right? Getting people, you know, to send me their bills, friends and family. You know what I mean? Even though I'm in pain, I'm in little pain. I have an open wound. I've been working my ass off the entire week. It's supposed to be hard. It will be hard. But if we're not willing to, you know, deal with the pain while we're pushing, you know, somebody else will make it.
Yeah. I love it. It's turned you into a badass. This injury is like Roberto's a bad. You guys feel that? He's got like she gets you a leather jacket. You see you driving a motorcycle. All of a sudden, Roberto's going through a midlife crisis over here. No, I'm just joking.
No. I mean, it's always been hard for me, bro. I mean, you know, Coffee shared something with us yesterday that really resonated with me. You know, my whys. I think I shared with you a little bit. You know, I haven't had a very easy life. You know, just in general. But just you know, thank you for letting me share.
Absolutely, man. And you know what? I love that about you. And I love that nothing can stop you or keep you down. You know, there's a book, it's if you guys are into reading, The Obstacle is the Way. Is a great book. And basically it's leaning into whatever it is that's holding you back, like leading into that and using that as like the point of development, the point of growth. Whatever you're resisting persists, like whatever you resist persists, right? So it's like, you know, tackling the things that are difficult, right? There was a statement in there that was what is it? Regret hurts more than discipline. Is that what it was? Did you guys catch that one? Did you guys hear that? It was like regret hurts more than discipline or something like that. Like, damn, that was pretty profound. Any other thoughts? Anyone else?
What was the book? It says the obstacle is the way, I think you said.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure, Coffee, if you're raising your hand or if you got something, but what really comes up for me, you guys, is I had mentioned this a little bit earlier today, and it's interesting because like I'm glad that you guys are here. I know that a lot of people see a lot of value in these trainings, and it really makes me feel good that I can provide a service to you, that I can, elevate your game somehow, because that's what we're doing out every single day, right? I think the one thing that I ask is that, as we're training, as hard as we're training, that we're applying it as well, right? Because knowledge up here and the knowledge that I'm providing onto you during these trainings and all the stuff you get from JC, all the stuff you get from my other fellow trainers, on here, all the practice pitching with Johnny, like that's great and everything like that. However, how are you going to actually use it, right? It's like there's doers and then there's people that watch it get done, and that's what this part reminds me of is, stop planning so much, stop training so much. And this is coming from the trainer, right? I mean, I know you guys see value in this, and there's always value in learning, right? At the same time, that's not what's going to make you guys money, right? Like I would rather take somebody that wasn't trained, that would just go try it and just like mess it up and like keep asking me what they did wrong. I would rather take that guy than the person that's going to know every single thing about solar and then start knocking doors. Like have the freedom to mess it up, have the freedom to not do things perfectly, right? And just do them, just do whatever it is, commit first and figure it out. Commit that I'm going to be knocking doors, commit that I'm going to be generating leads, and figure out a way to get it done. Stop thinking and planning on waiting on the sideline so much, because that's really the worst thing that you can do, right? The worst thing you can do is do nothing. So Sabrina, what do you got to add?
It says it's supposed to be hard. And the thing about it, it is supposed to be hard, because if it wasn't hard, everybody will be doing it. And this is not for the faint of heart. It is thick skin. You do have to develop thick skin to the point of where when your family and friends give you the no's, they give you the disappointment of not supporting you or telling you, that solo thing don't work. And it's like, it's your mindset that has to overcome that negativity, which makes your skin thicker to deal with anyone that's outside of your family. It just makes it easier. Because of the fact, if I can take this from my family and my friends who are closer to me, who are the closest to me, and then apply what I know to people who actually will listen to me, and those distractions or negativity that I get from individuals, I'm able to respond better because I've had training already. I had that personal training already, right? And so it just it pushes you to your goal when you have the negativity coming at you from people that you know that this is possible and it's doable.
Absolutely. Absolutely it is, and yeah, it's sometimes, for me, I think I focus so much on the bigger picture that like the day-to-day becomes less important. So I want us to think both at the same time, like think about the long-term goals, think about the long-term bigger pictures. And what are you guys doing today? What are you guys doing today? Like how many leads are you going to set today? How many doors are you going to close? How many sales are you going to get? You ever think about how many sales, like really, how many sales do you need in order to get 10 a month, right? So that means I'm not the best at math, but that's what, like 0.33 or something like that. I don't know. Someone do the math for me, right? Like if you're trying to get 10 sales over the course of a 30-day period, then how many do you need every day? Right? And if, and are you focused on that? Like what are the things that you're doing in the intermediate in order to get to that bigger picture goal? So anyway, kind of rhetorical, kind of not. All right. 6 steps, just so we can mention it. We'll get into our training. You guys ready? Who's with me? You guys with me? You guys with me? Yeah. Guys with me?
With you. Ready.
Oh, all right. We're going to lock into our training. We're going to get moving on this. and then set you guys up for success this weekend. So the 6 steps of breaking preoccupation, this is especially for people like Shannon who are newer to the call. I'm glad that we're starting to get into a rhythm of going through this every single time. Who wants to take us through the 6 steps today? It can be real quick too, 2 minutes. Anyone on this call that wants to take us through this and explain to Shannon what they are?
I'll have a go at it.
Let's go, Sabrina. Go for it.
All right. So breaking preoccupation is when you're talking to someone and they seem to be distracted. You basically bring them back to the conversation that you're currently having. You always want to amplify the problem because you know what the problem is, and you say things in a way that they see what the problem is so that they can, it also helps to break that preoccupation as well. When you give the solution, you're giving it to them in a way that makes them think about it, so you can take it away so that they'll believe that there's something that they're not doing in order to get that solution. And then to close it up, is saying what the next steps are, but to button it up is to reiterate what you just said.
Oh, beautiful. Let's go. Clap it up for Sabrina.
Thank you.
Yeah, everyone has a different, everyone sees the same thing, sees it a little bit different. I love hearing your iteration of it. Absolutely. It's very simple. These 6 steps are the 6 steps that we use for every single lead that you set, any phone call that you make, any cold call that you're making, any deal that gets closed. You saw Coffee earlier talking about how she uses these 6 steps. She wasn't being intentional, but I see it. You guys see that she's using the 6 steps in the way that she recruits people, right? And taking away, hey, don't show up to my team if you're not showing up with leads, right? So she gets them bought into getting involved, right? And we do the same thing with people. Say, hey, not everybody can qualify, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break preoccupation. I'm going to get their attention. Step 2, I'm going to create an emotional impulse, right? I'm going to get them to feel like they need to do something about it, right? Step 3, I'm going to solve the problem that I just explained about, right? But the thing is, number 4, not everybody can qualify. That's why I get people wanting it, because people want what they can't have, right? And so you're taking away step 4, right, to come back and close, because we got to see if you can qualify, right? I don't know if it makes sense. We got to sit down with my specialist. She's awesome. She's been doing this for, 10 years. Basically what they're going to do is they're going to help you compare what you're paying with Edison versus what it would be by going solar, right? And then step 5 would have to come back and see what time works best for you, in the morning or in the evening. Okay, tonight at 7 o'clock, tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Got it. Okay, tomorrow at 5 is good. What they're going to do is step 6. The homeowner is the specialist is going to come back. They're going to explain exactly what's going to happen. They're going to put it on the table if it makes sense to help you apply. If it doesn't make sense, at least you're more educated, right? At least you know how this works, right? So there's no reason you and your wife wouldn't be here tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, what time? 5 o'clock? Okay, great, right? So going through the whole process, this is with every single conversation. And for anybody that wants more work on this, come on Wednesday with my partner, Johnny Montes, okay? He does an amazing job. All of my brothers do. David kills it on Thursday. He does a professional sort of perspective on door knocking. Lewis has a more exploratory, more conversational workshop that he does on Tuesdays as well. Okay, but if you want to play with it a little bit, you want to work on your script, come on Wednesday, because Johnny always does a live training on Wednesdays, and you guys can play with that a little bit. You can also reach out to me directly on the WhatsApp. You can reach out to Johnny directly on the WhatsApp. If you guys are struggling with this part, if you want to just kick ideas across the board, if you want to record yourself, send your recordings to any of us. I'm sure they would be open to working with you and making sure that we can help you guys learn to set leads, and then you guys can set leads for us so we can close them with you, right? So it's a win-win situation for everybody, okay? So if you need help with this stuff, don't hesitate. You're not bugging anybody. We are waiting to serve you guys, okay? Because we want you guys to win, because if you guys win, then we can win and everyone wins together, okay? Okay, cool. So enough of that. Steps 1 through 6. If you need help with it, find somebody. But we're going to get into a little bit on objections today. Anybody who's excited about objections, by the way?
Love them.
Who wants to hear about objections today?
We all do.
Yeah, let's go. Fire emojis, some whoop, some energy. Give some energy. Come on, give us some energy on this call. Who's with me? Let's get into some objections. It's a Friday. It's hot today. It's the end of summer. Let's get into some homes. Let's get some electric bills. Let's set up our calendars this weekend, man. Let's have a big week next week. Let's set us up for a big week. Okay, let's get into objections. Guys, team, if you guys have been on this call before, what is the best way to handle an objection?
Not have gotten it at all.
Ask a question.
Okay, Johnny Montes, tell me more.
To not have gotten the objection in the first place, right? You address it, you deal with it, like you like to call 8 Mile, and you like to address it before they bring it up. It kind of puts you a step ahead of the game.
Oops. Hold on with this. Let's come over here. I'm gonna add something. We're working, baby. We're working on the fly. Check this out. I'm gonna add something here. And I'm actually gonna add it right here as we're moving. So 8 Miling. All right. Guys, what's 8 Miling? Anybody? Anybody other than Johnny? What's 8 Miling?
Yeah, it's basically bringing up the objection before, like Johnny said, bringing it up before they do, beating them to the punch.
Okay, why is it called 8 Miling?
Because like in 8 Mile, in the rap battle, Eminem basically brought up everything that was gonna say, to where the guy had, there was nothing he could say after that. So we kind of want to do the same thing when we're out there on the doors, especially if you're out there. So, you want to beat them to it.
Let's go. Let me make this readable for you. We're moving on the fly today. I like it. Okay. We'll make this readable. Excuse me. Okay. So 8 Miling. So the best way to handle an objection is to never get one in the first place, right? So you're going to bring up the objection before they do. So it might look something like this, right? I might knock on someone's door and I might be like, hey, listen, real quick. I know there's a million people that come knocking on your door, right? I'll get right straight to the point. Basically, I'm with Encore. My job is to speak with the homeowners. Are you the homeowner? All right. So did you guys see how did I 8 Mile in that example?
You told them that everybody is knocking on the door.
Yeah.
And you're basically jumping ahead of it.
Yeah, because what's gonna happen if I'm like, hey, hi, how are you? I'm David with Encore, and they're like, you know what, dude? I have a lot of people that come to my door, right? So I stay in control of the conversation by saying what they're gonna say before they say it. You guys hearing me on this? Right? So I'm getting ahead of their objection. Another objection might be something like Johnny Montes. What he does sometimes is he goes, hey, yeah, listen, I know there's a lot of solar guys come out here. They're trying to sell you a loan before, right? So we're actually doing the no debt option, right? So I'm 8 Miling what? Against a loan, right? Sometimes I'll knock on the door and be like, hey, how else can I 8 Mile? Oh, hey, your neighbor around the block, they were telling me, actually, this couple houses down, they're telling me you guys get bombarded by guys all day long. Does that happen with you? Like, yeah, actually, it makes our job really hard because we're a little bit different, right? So, or 8 Miling might be something like, yeah, because that's the reason why we get sent out here, because we do all the solar that's out here, but it's a little bit different than the old solar programs in the past. Because the old programs, they didn't make sense. They used to be too expensive. You used to put a lien on the house, right? So these are completely different, right? The way it works is boom, boom, boom. Right? So I'm telling them their objection before they tell me the objection. Make sense? Right? Okay, cool. So the best way to handle an objection is to never get one in the first place, duh. Because you're on your toes versus on your heels, right? I want to be in control of the conversation. I want to be proactive versus reactive. Makes sense, right? Okay, cool. Let's get into the art technique. What is the art technique? What does A stand for?
Ask.
Who's that? What's up, Chris? So art technique, the first letter is not ask. What is the first letter?
Acknowledge.
Acknowledge or agree. Let's call it, let's use one word, okay? Agree. What's next, Jeff?
Respond.
Respond. And then?
Take their bill.
T is for take their bill. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, T is for what? What do you guys think T would be for? Agree, respond, and then?
Transition.
Transition.
Yeah, what do we transition to? We'll transition back to this problem right here. Okay. So the way it works is we're gonna go. Okay, hey, art technique will be something like this. Someone give me an objection. Anybody?
I don't like the way they look on the roof.
Okay, was that you, Raphael?
Yeah.
You said something about the roof? Is that what you said?
Yeah, when people tell you, oh, I don't like the way that it looks on my roof, or I don't want them in the front of the house or whatever, when on the roof that is on the front of the house.
Yeah, I completely understand. I know, I get it. And a lot of people actually, feel exactly the same way, right? And so, but what really makes sense at the end of the day is, whether or not you guys can even benefit from the program, right? The question becomes is like, what looks worse, like a $500 bill from the utility or something that's on the roof, right? So, and I get it. Like, there's no way around it. Panels are panels, but the thing is, we use a black on black, low profile monocrystalline panel, right? And so they're a lot more aesthetically pleasing. They're not like the blue and gray ones that are big and bulky up on the roof. They're low profile and they're all black, right? And so, but the thing is, I don't know whether or not it would make sense for you. And like honestly, at the end of the day, you don't have to do this, right? But you already have a bill that you get from SoCal Edison, or you have a bill that you're getting from the utility, right? And so my job is just basically to figure out what's going to look like by going solar and whether or not it would make sense, right? And so and if you're like me, like I need to see it in front of me to make the right call, right? So when's usually a good time of the day, like in the morning or the evening time, right? So you guys saw me go through it, agree, respond, and transition back to the solution. I'm sorry, back to the problem, right? So let's try another one. Let's try another art technique. Someone else hit me with another objection.
I got one. I'm in the Northwest up in Portland, Oregon. So I've been getting a lot of, I've got too many trees blocking my roof, so I don't get enough sunlight.
Yeah, actually, I know, I totally get it. And actually, when I was coming up to knock onto your door, I was noticing and I was kind of questioning whether or not it would even make sense for you, right? And so I'm not a scientist, but like solar panels need to absorb sunlight, right? And if your trees are blocking the way, then obviously they might not work, right? And so, but my job, what I do, I don't know whether or not it makes sense for you, right? But my job is just basically to give you the black and white, right? So like, look, at the end of the day, you don't have to do anything, right? But basically what's happening is because bills are so high, right? A lot of people are getting these savings reports brought out so they can figure out whether or not your trees are going to be an issue. Because if they're not, it's just a bill swap, right? So it's protecting you from inflation. But the thing is, though, you're right. I don't know whether or not like the shading's going to be an issue. So my job is just basically to take a look at the bill. There's a bar chart that's located on here. It tells us how much energy you're using. They're able to figure out exactly where the panels go, like how much the shading is going to be even a factor. And then we come back and we look at it together and we can figure it out from there, right? So because the idea is, and I'm just talking again. So because the idea is we're selling the appointment, right? We're not selling we're not selling solar, right? Hey, yeah, you're right. The shading might be an issue. Let's take a look at it. Right? So my superpower is taking people's objection and getting it, like using it against them. Like, yeah, and the way that I do it is by agreeing, right? Agreeing. Yes, you're right. Yeah, your shading might be an issue, right? Because somebody else might be like, oh, no, yeah, your trees are fine. Yeah, we can chop down the tree. Yeah, no problem. Right. But remember, we're the needed, not the needy. Right. It's not my job to convince them. It's get them to convince themselves. So what do? I lean into the objection. That's the part of the art technique that I hear. I hope you guys are really hearing right now. Like really. Okay. Because the agreeing part is what's going to loosen up the conversation. Because what is the person going to think? The person's going to think that they're going to give you objection. And what are you going to do as the salesperson? What are you going to do? Let's say you're at the car dealership. Anyone ever bought a car before? My mic on? You guys got me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Now, if you're buying a car, right? And the guy goes, and you're trying to tell the guy like, hey, listen, I don't you know, I don't know if I'm gonna make a decision today because there's a lot of things that I got to consider. I got to move money around, right? And you tell the car dealership, the person who's selling you a car, you tell him that. What are you expecting for him to say back to you?
Take it home for a test drive and bring it back tomorrow and then see.
Are you expecting for them to try to sell you anyways?
Well, my last car, I ordered it from my phone, but yes, they will expect
But yes,
to,
the answer
yeah.
is yes, guys. The answer is yes. The answer is if I'm a consumer and I'm walking by a booth and the person tries to engage with me, I'm going to be like, oh man, I don't have time right now. And they're going to be like trying to do what? They're going to try to convince me. So guys, understand the context where you're in. You're already at a disadvantage. They already know what you're trying to do. They know that no matter what objection you give them, that there's going to be a reason for you to not do this. Right? So what do you got to do? You got to lean into that. Buy yourself more time by agreeing with them, because our job is not to get into an arguing match and to win an argument. That is not sales. That's not sales. It's called the debate team or something. That's called being a lawyer and trying to win a case. That is not sales. Our job isn't to win an argument. Okay, it is to agree with them, to facilitate a sales process. Hey, I'm on your side. Hey, yeah, you're right. The shading could potentially be an issue. Yeah, let's take a look at it. See how that's so much different versus, no, I know you should be fine. No, I don't think so. Like the way that the earth is tilted and stuff, like just be real with them. Yeah, it could be. Or people are like, oh yeah, my bills are too low. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly why we're here. Yeah, because your bills are too low. I don't know whether or not it's going to make sense for you, right? What we have to do is we have to look at it, right? So agree with them to loosen up the conversation, respond, actually deal with the objection. Don't just ignore it because it's real and it exists, and then transition your way back to the problem. All right, feel, felt, found. Who can help me with this one? Feel, felt, found. Who has any idea how this one works?
All right. So if a customer has an objection, this is a way for you to sit on their side of the table, right? Per se. So if they have an objection, let's say you know, they're opposed to the way it looks on their roof, using that same example, be like, you know what? I know exactly how you feel. I used to feel the same way, but you know, here's what I found, that the newest panels actually look sleek. They're black on black. They're slim, low profile. They look nothing like the old panels from even 5 years ago, let alone 20 years ago. So you're giving yourself the opportunity to sit on their side of the table, to agree with them, to feel the way they do, and to show them like, here's how I changed my perspective after looking at these brand new panels. They're sexy.
Yeah, good. Now the key to this, yes, good job, Chris. So the key to this, you guys, is these are shortcuts to be concise and methodical, right? So feel, felt, found is something that's going to give you a structure to, like, I would suggest that each of you guys practice one of these methods today. Like pick one and then stick with it. Like try to 8 Mile, try to get ahead of someone's conversation, you know, of someone's objection. Try to work the art technique, agreeing with them, responding, transitioning back to the problem. Try to work with feel, felt, found. Just try it. Just give it a try, because it's pretty easy after you get it after a while. It's almost like a storytelling kind of thing, right? Hey, listen, I know exactly how you feel. Actually, one of our good friends that just went solar felt the exact same way, but they were surprised when they found out that the panels are actually pretty low. They're like black on black, they're low profile. They're a little bit more aesthetically pleasing than they used to be. So, but the thing is, I don't know if you can qualify, right? We have to sit down, we have to set the appointment, right? So feel, felt, found would be something like, hey, listen, I know that's exactly how I used to feel. back before I found out a lot about solar, right? And so that's exactly how I felt. And what I found out after working and doing this for such a long time is that actually solar is a lot more aesthetically pleasing than what it used to be. And for me, it was a question of whether or not, like, would I rather look at a $500 bill, or would I rather look at solar panels on your roof that, you know, add value to the home, right? And so, but the thing is not everybody can qualify, right? Okay, cool. Feel felt found something like someone hit me with an objection, a new one.
I have one. By the time I pay off my panels, they're not gonna work anymore. So what's the point?
You know, that's exactly how a lot of like senior citizens that I work with feel, right? Because what they, you know, and I don't blame them, because I used to feel the same way. Because what they're doing is actually they used to think that they're spending a lot of money, right? But after one of my homeowners who is retired is like on a after he found out the way that it actually works, he's surprised, right? Because it's just a disc. Instead of having to wait 30 years in order to manage, start saving like instantly, right? Like their bills that, especially because we do nothing out of pocket programs, right? And so, but the thing is, not everybody can qualify, which is why we have to sit down and basically take a look at it, right? So I'm using this context, that question in the context of Phil found. I hope that landed. But there's a lot of ways to deal with that specific objection. Does that make sense for Phil found? Yeah, pretty much. It's just a word track. It's just a word track to get you like a shortcut to get you back on track. And let's talk about the shortcut of all shortcuts. This one. This is my favorite one. It's exactly why I'm here. Okay. Hey, anybody out there, give me an objection.
Why are you here, dude?
Huh?
Why are you here knocking on my door?
Dude, listen, I get it. It's exactly why I'm here, man, because I know there's a lot of people that come around. It gets pretty annoying. I live close by. Basically, my job is just to speak with the homeowners, right? Who's next?
Is this solar? As I get a lot of people coming around. I'm not really interested in solar.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly why I'm here, man. A lot of the old programs, they didn't make a lot of sense, you know, and so that's what our job to do is basically speak with all the homeowners. Are you the homeowner? Right. Okay, someone else, give me an objection.
I've heard too many nightmares about solar.
You know, that's exactly why I'm here. You know, I've been doing this for a long time, and I can tell you I've heard a lot of things under the sun when it comes to people's experiences, you know, and I don't blame you. A lot of the old programs didn't make a lot of sense and they didn't benefit people. The way that it works now is boom, 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 right? So you guys, if you haven't noticed, I've literally answered every single question with that's exactly why I'm here. Watch, keep going.
Solar's a scam.
You know, it's exactly why I'm here. Is there's been so many things that have been put out onto the internet and so many misconceptions that people have had over time. Basically, our program's completely different. I'm not going to say that anything's free. It's nothing out of pocket, but you have to have a high bill because, you know, it's basically like a discount. How much do you guys usually pay? Boom, I'm back into the problem, right? Okay, who's next? Another objection. This one is my favorite one because it requires the least amount of bandwidth. You can literally say the same thing to everybody. Like, you want to make it super simple? There's one way to answer every objection, and it's this one. Hey, that's exactly why I'm here. Hey, yeah, solar so we've looked into it in the past and solar didn't make sense. Yeah, that's exactly why I'm here, because these programs are new. Yeah, you know, basically my best friend's dog walkers, uncle's friends, neighbors, babysitter told me that like solar causes cancer. It's like, yeah, dude, that's exactly why I'm here, because all the old programs, people didn't get a lot of information about it and it didn't make a lot of sense, right? And so, cool. Another one says, hey, well, hey, I'm in the middle of eating my dinner. Hey, listen, that's exactly why I'm here, is to find a time where we can actually talk. When's usually a better time of the day to come back? Come back in the morning. Cool. Boom. Got it. Right. That's exactly why I'm here. We'll free your world up, guys. Like that, like, if you guys took nothing else from my training today, take this one away, because this one is the most powerful tool. It's like, yeah, that's exactly why I'm here. Yeah, and again, it goes back to the root of the agreeing and freeing up the space in the conversation, because you're agreeing with them. The last thing that they're going to expect is for you to agree with them. They're going to expect for you to go into an argument. They're going to expect for you to try to overcome an objection. They're not going to expect for you to be like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. That's exactly why I'm here.
Hey Dave,
Yeah.
I got an idea for you, man. Maybe you should get some shirts. That's exactly why I'm here.
Let's go, man. That's it, man. It will free your world. You guys will. It's silly. I challenge you guys to use this with every objection that you get today, and watch things happen. So we're running up against our time. I wanted to finish with the storytelling, right? Remember good old Susan Kappelman, right? Remember, hey, look, I get it. Basically, I don't know if you know your neighbor, Susan Kappelman. She's right around the road. Basically, yeah, she was saying the same thing, that like it's going to take a long time for her to see any benefit, right? But the thing was, we broke down the numbers, and what she found out was like her bill's like $300 now, and after going solar, her bill's like $220, right? But it stays fixed. It doesn't get affected by inflation, right? Now, I don't know if that's going to work for you. Basically, what I have to do is we have to sit down and look at it. Okay, storytelling. Yeah, you know what? I'm not interested because I heard that you get a double bill. Like, yeah, listen, my parents actually went through the exact same thing, right? Which they did. They ended up paying $1,200 at the end of the year. We had to add more panels onto it. It's because they didn't have enough power for their house, right? So basically, I don't know whether it's the same thing for you. We'd have to sit down and we'd have to take a look at it, but basically, I don't, and then sit down and sell the appointment. Okay. Storytelling. How about something like, yeah, we looked into it 3 years ago. Yeah, I know. Actually, my brother, he was telling me the same thing. They looked into it. This was 3 years ago or so, and then he ended up going solar a couple years back because basically, like, he was very skeptical about whether or not it was truly going to help them, like, financially, if it was going to help them lower their bill. And after we did all the data analysis, we figured out where it was going to go on the roof. Like, I was able to lay it out for him. And then, I basically helped walk him through the whole entire process. So, obviously he came on board, right? Like, storytelling is so powerful because it's not hey, I'm convincing you to do something. It's getting people to convince themselves, right? And the weakest position of power is me trying to convince you. It's more powerful to get people to convince themselves. And by telling them a story, they can connect the dots, because people, you can say a lot of things about them, but people are smart. If you give them examples and real life stories of like what has happened, then that tends to loosen up the conversation as well. So in summary, going back to everything all over one more time, there's different ways to handle any objection. Obviously, the best way is to never get one. The art technique will loosen up the conversation and buy you 5 more minutes. Feel felt found helps you to empathize with people and actually get a word in edgewise. That's exactly why I'm here. It can be answered to any objection because it, again, it substantiates where you're coming from and why you're there in the first place. And then storytelling makes it human so that they can see a way that it would provide a solution for themselves. So I hope that provides value for you guys. Did want to
David, quick question.
Yes, sir.
And this is primarily like after the installation. So my back neighbor, I had given him a presentation, right? And then he went pretty much behind my back and went directly to Palmetto and got them. But now he's telling me, well, at night I'm still getting a bill, but I'm like, bro, you guys have like 8 people in the house, and at night y'all always have everything on, lights on, fans on, the pool is going and everything. So yeah, you're gonna, even though your panels are creating energy, like at night you're consuming more than what the panels like sent to the grid. So yeah, so you're gonna have I guess quote unquote over usage. So he asked me, well, what can be done? So I don't know, like I like adding more panels will be the answer, or what would you do?
Yeah. It sounds like he doesn't have enough energy, so he needs more panels on his roof.
Okay, because he has like 30 something already.
Yeah, it sounds like he probably just needs more.
Hey, David, it reminds you of the person that we had that said their bill was $99 with only, what was it, 10 panels, and they needed 25.
Yeah. Yeah, guys. So, you're going to hear a lot of stuff, out there, but set the appointment, Rafa. Let's figure it out together. Give me a call and we can talk more on it offline, but that's all the time that we got for today, you guys. I hope that gives enough value for us to go crack and have an amazing weekend this weekend. So let me know how I can support you. Let me know if you have anything for me to close for you guys. I hope you have a good week. I'll see you next week. See ya.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys. Thanks. Bye.
Recording